Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Airing It Out podcast. I am your host, Dustin. As always, I am blessed and honored to have back on for the third time, Captain Donald Lawson. How you doing, Captain? And welcome back onto the show.
Hey, Dustin, how you doing, man?
It's been a while, man. We did this almost 2 years ago with the power of Scott, and now, am I hearing this right? We're about to set this thing fully in motion.
Yes, we are. I mean, where are we today? Are we still in Ohio today?
No, I don't know. The last time I thought you was on a houseboat, but for real, we're doing this live from the Trimaran. So while we're talking about the boat already, tell me a little bit about the history of this boat.
Yeah. So, first and foremost, this is my dream boat. I'm like, hey, boat, yay. I've been trying to get this boat for almost 10 years. And this boat here happens to be the fastest boat in the country, going, and the fifth or sixth fastest in the world. Now, the cool thing is that it's 60 feet long, so if you look behind me, it's 60 feet that way. And you look off that side and that side, it's about 58 feet overall wide. And then look over my head, the mast is about 100 feet tall. And then for the nerd like me, the dagger board goes down about 16 feet below me. So 60, 58, 100, and then 16 are my dimensions.
Yeah, I mean, this, I spoke to you off camera, spoke to Scott. When you say you're about to do this race and do this incredible accomplishment, I think the boat doesn't even do enough justice in photos until you see this thing live. This thing is massive.
Yeah. It's one of those eye catchers easily because even as we're sitting here setting up today, people are going by, waving at us, asking us questions because you don't see these kind of boats very often in the country. And actually, in fact, I believe there's only 2 of these boats in the entire country, United States, and I think it's like 7 left in the entire world. And these are the Formula One boats of the world. And so when you think about it from that standpoint, it's not something you see every day. And added bonus as well, this boat is again the fastest boat in the country.
I know that's really impressive. As I got to understand what you want to do, your mission, your voyage, everything that you want to represent, I started to look at some of these other individuals, the original gentleman that I was talking to you about, that had this boat and traveled and sailed with it for 3, and then they redesigned it for 8, and now you're gonna do this as one person.
Yeah. So the history of the boat. So most people know it, believe it or not, as the original name is Groupama 2. The skipper name was Frank Capt, who the boat was built for, and he used this boat for about 6 years. In those 6 years, he won every championship he tried. He won nearly every ocean race he did, including double-handed and single-handed, which is 2 people or 1 person. And then the crew configuration, which is about 8 to 11 people, depending on the race, they dominated all those races as well. So this boat has a legacy of being the fastest, baddest boat ever made. That's the first thing. After that, I did try to get my hands on the boat in 2011, fell through. The previous owner, Howard Inlow, did get his hands on this boat, and he brought it here to the West Coast. And boy, when they brought it here in 2012, they set almost every record as a crew of 8 that they could possibly set. They did the Transpac. They did the record for that race in 4 days and 6 hours. And they had some of the best sailors alive sailing the boat. So now for us, totally different. The goal is not to sail in the crew configuration as you just mentioned. Our goal is for me to sail a boat by myself, kind of how it was back when Frank had it.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. I'm really intrigued as we move forward and get closer to the race, that we get to see some of the adjustments that you're going to make to the boat, because you got to tailor it now back to the single, let's say, captain versus a crew,
right,
or a few people on here.
Yes. So the challenge is, I mean, just like right here in front of me, for example, this canopy was added initially for shorthanded 1-person sailing. Right here near my feet is actually a block that we're going to take off and put a third tiller, which is a steering stick right here, so I can steer the boat from here while looking at my computer at the same time. And then from there, other stuff like there's a couple winches that are going to go bye-bye, the satellite domes getting moved, new radars getting installed. And so it's pretty much a checklist of things I've known need to be done to the boat. And in the next 6 months or so, all of it should be done.
So I was also, in some of my research that I was looking into, the 3 friends complained a lot about water being taken on. Is that something when you're doing a voyage, or you're doing not a race but a long distance journey? Is that something that you take into consideration with taking on water?
Well, yeah. So this boat here had 1 collision, I believe, before, so it was damaged before, but it was fixed, of course. Um, for the most part, I'm not going to sail the boat as hard as the previous crew did. Again, that was an all-star team of people, one of the best owners, Howard and Lowe, the country's ever had. And so their goal was always to sail at 110% all the time. Because I'm doing records and they're short-handed, single-handed records, the goal is finishing the record. And so I have my own structure, my own system, my strategy that I will follow when doing these records. And so the biggest concern I have for damage to this boat would be a collision with trash or debris or a shipping container that hasn't sunk all the way. Those kind of things can be dangerous. Fortunately, the radar system I'm going to install and the camera system I'm installing, those will help see out in front and give me kind of a warning if I'm on collision course or something.
So I know that the story is that when you were 8 or 9, you got an opportunity to be on a boat, and this is where you came up with the idea of wanting to do this mission. Before I get to cover that, what I wanted to ask you was, in your experience, what has prepared you to take on such a feat?
Yeah.
If you want to talk to some
Yeah.
people in the audience.
Yeah, that's so funny. You excellent questions.
Thank you, sir.
That's an excellent question. So let's break that down. So when I first started sailing at 9 years old, I knew I wanted to sail around the world. That was a given. I just didn't know how to do it at 9 years old. And at the time, no one of my culture in particular had ever even done it. So basically, what happened was in 2002, I got to meet a woman named Ellen MacArthur who had just done the Vendée Globe around the world solo race, and she was actually preparing to race against this boat in the race. And she gave me advice, which was number one, sail these kind of boats. We call them multi-hulls because they have multiple hulls. Sail those kind of boats because you get more time in the water, you do more things, learn how to do more operations on the boat. And then from there, she said to me, do as many passages as possible. Now, the difference between a passage and a race is that a race, you have a set schedule. You have to get from point A to point B faster than your opponent. And if that means you breaking your boat, that's your choice. For a passage or a record, you generally choose your weather window that you're going to use to move your boat. And so, for the sailors listening to this, they're all going to think it sounds like a delivery. Like I'm delivering my boat from San Diego to Los Angeles. It's the same concept. So all the passages I did over the years help prepare me for doing my records because it's the same exact procedure. The only difference is that this is my boat and I'm doing it for a record.
So how many passages how long you been studying for? About 30
Oh,
change years?
gosh, I'm gonna sound really old. I'm starting to be old here. Yeah, so
Like 31, right? If my numbers are correct.
31 years. I've been sailing for 31 years. Professionally, it's been 21 years.
Okay.
Roughly, maybe 20 years. Yeah, 21 years, like that.
So, what has been your longest passage up until this point?
19 solo or
Yes,
crew?
let's go with solo first.
I soloed 19 and a half days. That's transatlantic up to Long Island.
How long? When you said 19 days?
Yeah, 19 and a half days.
How many miles is that? Do you know?
3,645 miles.
So from where?
Spain to Long Island. That was my longest solo passage, and that was long. It was difficult because it was a slow boat. And so, think about it from this standpoint. Most people think the faster you're going, the more deadly, dangerous it is, and that's actually not true. When you're going slow, you are at the mercy of the weather and the waves and the wind you're dealing with. And so when I did that slow passage, 19 and a half days, I dealt with countless storms that I could not run. I had to deal with massive waves that I couldn't go around. I had to deal with lack of sleep, and I needed to have more provisions and food on board because it was a longer passage. When we take a faster boat like this one here, literally, I can do the same passage in probably 6 days. So now it's less food, less fuel, less time exposed to the elements. If I see bad weather coming, I can go away from it and then come back to my course. All those kind of things make life a lot safer and simpler.
So now it's so funny. I was talking to a few people and they wanted to know what were you going to eat. Before I get into some of the things that you take with you to make sure that you could do this, because you were saying provisions, and these are the things that you have to take into consideration. Can you explain to us a little bit about when you're on a boat, you're not that hungry? And I referred it to being in space.
Yeah. You heard astronauts say a little time when they're in space, in particular, that they lose their appetite, and who knows if it's gravity for them. But for me, when I'm sailing, a lot of times The waves and the wind makes your muscles contract a lot more, and so your body is moving a lot more, working out more. And when that happens, a lot of times you're not as hungry. Now that's not a good thing either, because then your energy level drops, and maybe you'll get tired faster. So the challenge is to have a set schedule in eating. So like for me, my diet for most short passages is regular food. Because again, you got to think about it. If I'm out there for 4 days, I can eat regular food out of a cooler to get to go. But for longer passages, say I'm like around the world coming out, for that passage, I'm going to have pretty much beef jerky, protein, instant oatmeal for carbs. I'm gonna have canned fruit for vitamins, stuff like that. And then I'll carry some guilty pleasures I have, like M&Ms and Tootsie Rolls and that kind of stuff as well. And then I have a water maker, and so I can make water anytime I need for bathing or for drinking or adding to my food. One of the traditional things I used to eat a lot was ramen noodles because they have a variety of flavors to have. So, but for the most part, we're past the days of rations and freeze dried food. You don't need to really rely on it as much anymore because most of the food now, particularly the cans, and the fact that those are so fast, you're not out there for 100 days anymore.
Because you're moving so quick because of all the things, or why
Yeah,
you're not.
yeah, the boats are so much faster. So if you think back to when pirate ships, like Pirates of the Caribbean and stuff, those guys, they're out there for a year just to get from Australia to the UK. Well, I could do that in like 2 months, and so I don't need to carry
Right.
containers of rum and hardtack biscuits. We're kind of past that stage now, and so I'm sure in 20 years from now it'll be even better. They'll probably have all kind of like remember Back to the Future 2 when they had the pizza roll and they probably that kind of stuff in about 10, 15 years.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. So we were chopping it up. We were down below. The boat is massive. The downstairs area is very tight. Talk to us about some of these. I mean, obviously you're going to be steering the ship from underneath, correct?
No, no. So,
No, you got to
um,
steer it from up here.
so I can monitor the boat
There
downstairs.
it goes. Okay.
But as far as controlling the boat, I have my two stations, one on both sides. Now I have my central one right here. And ultimately, what would happen is I'll have computers and cameras when I'm down below, so I can monitor what's going on. And the way I will sail my boat, I won't ever go so fast that I can't come up here real quick and release the lines or change course to balance the boat out. I think part of the issue a lot of people have is they push so hard thinking that if they go 100 miles per hour for 15 minutes, that's going to break a record. And you got to look at the longevity of a record. If a record is 2,000 miles, then you want an average speed for that 2,000 miles. So using that mentality, I developed a system I call my own triangle offense, by the way, which I can't share with you
I
guys.
know. I'm excited to hear about it when you do
Well, the
release the information. Not that you can't do too much. I just like how you made a reference, not a reference, but it's similar to the Phil Jackson triangle offense.
well, actually, Tex Witzer's.
Oh, look at you.
And so
So
Tex
Phil,
Winter,
sorry,
yeah, yeah,
Phil employed it. He didn't design it.
yeah. So long story short, Tex Winter was a coach at San Diego State, I think it was, or San Francisco.
Sure, somewhere in the West Coast,
Yeah,
in California.
I think yeah, and he developed a triangle offense to help ball movement and keep the offense moving, keep the defense off balance. And taking that philosophy, I kind of applied it to my sailing. And so when I'm out there racing, a lot of times you'll see me very, very systematic in how I race, and you'll see me do certain things, and you're like, "Why the hell is he doing that?" I'm already seeing 3 moves ahead in my motion. So one day in my memoirs, which will be in 10 years, I'll let you read the memoirs first.
Please, I hope so. I know. I feel like we kind of run in very similar speeds
Yeah,
because I think that you do a lot of things that most people want to be not so much challenged,
yeah,
but you're a trailblazer, and I like to consider
yeah,
myself one. It's
yes,
okay, don't worry about it. That's the whole fun part about doing this.
yeah.
I bet you that's the misses.
Yeah, that's my wife calling me. That's her ringtone. For those
Yeah,
who
yeah,
want to
I
know,
like it.
yes.
I know it's
So
all saxophony.
it's all saxophone sweet. Yes, I know.
It's like a piano jazz bar, but
Yeah,
without the piano.
yes. And so for those who don't know, I love cigars. I love bourbon, and so we go. My wife and I, we generally always go out to a nice speakeasy, and we have a nice cigar and we talk and spend time together. So she's not here right now. She'll be flying out this weekend to see us.
Being the fact that you just brought her up, I wanted you to tell everybody a little bit about how you guys met. I mean, we've done other shows before where you talked about it, but I think it's awesome for some of the people listening that you can rekindle things. I think everybody tries to feel like they got to control stuff, and sometimes if you let things happen, they kind of come back to you
Yeah,
if the energy's supposed to be there with you.
yeah, yeah. I'm a strong believer in positive energy and trying to do the right thing. For the young kids that never heard the saying, there's a saying, "Let things go, and if it's meant for you, will come back to you." So my wife and I were high school sweethearts for 3.5 years, and we had to separate for college and family issues. And then I found her on MySpace. To blow you guys' minds,
True
MySpace.
story.
Yeah, yeah, true story. But it said her relationship was complicated at the time, and so and I was going through a divorce, and so but we can reconnected. We've been together back together ever since, and we
How
are
many years has that been? More than 40
for
or 12?
no,
Okay,
for,
okay.
no, no, no,
So it's been a
for
minute.
14 years.
It's been a while.
Met together for 14 years. I always have to do the math because we always look at the 14 years.
Plus the high school years,
Bingo.
right?
Exactly. You see, my man. You got
I
it.
got you, bro. I'm
You got it.
fast. I see it.
When she sees this, I'm sorry, honey. It was 18 years overall. Yes.
Right. Okay, that's awesome.
And
And
so,
so,
yeah, no, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I know she's super supportive. What is it like to have somebody that believes in
Oh
your
man.
dream, even though this is a dream that a lot of people have a hard time maybe grasping?
Yeah. Well, so I'm blessed in so many ways because number one, I have her. It's been she and I for a long time trying to build up to this point. And the fact that she supports me, she takes care of me, she looks out for us. I owe her everything, and so I do have some ways of thanking her in the future that I'm gonna surprise her with down the road. But I wouldn't be where I am without her. I'm grateful for that.
I know that's awesome, man. Not to sound cliche, but behind every great man is a great woman, as they say.
Well, they say that, and I say for a fact.
We don't want to get beat up by the feminists, so
Oh
we're trying
no,
to.
no, I'm on no matter what. So
Yeah,
no,
me too,
okay.
bro.
No,
Go
no,
ahead.
it's not true because I have an ex-wife still.
Right,
And so the bottom line is that you have to be the right person.
right, right, right,
And
right,
so me and my wife are best friends.
right.
And being best friends and soulmates, we're committed to each other's success. And we support each other, we sacrifice for each other. And so that mentality that my wife and I have, plus the team we have now, like with you guys, with you and you're in the program we're doing with you and Scott, Scott's my personal assistant, executive
I
assistant
know.
now. And
Yeah,
so and
we
Scott,
gotta use executive
I
assistant
know,
because I just hired one,
I
and
know.
I'm like, personal assistant sounds
Scott from the
too.
1920s,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. We
Yeah,
gotta do
yeah, yeah,
executive. He's an
yeah.
executive
And
assistant.
so think about so Scott's been with me since like 3 years,
Right.
and this guy helped me secure this boat. He helped me secure the partnerships and stuff. And so
Homeboy's awesome.
I told him, look, man,
He's off camera, but
yeah,
he's
yeah.
the man.
I said, dude, you're not executive assistant. I said,
Let's
don't
go.
worry about nothing else. Just
Yeah.
keep me in line, keep me in check.
Facts.
And he
Yes.
does. This dude, he's solid.
He is
But
solid.
and then so like you and then some other folks we're working with now, I'm fortunate, and so for a long time I felt like I had to do it myself. And with my mentality, if I have to do it myself, I will do it.
Correct.
It's not gonna not happen.
Yeah.
But life is so much better when
I
you
agree.
have
Yes.
you have a Dennis Rodman.
Facts. Right.
I can't call him Scott. People call him Scott, right? But,
Well, who knows, man?
I
Man,
know.
is he Tony Kukoc? He looks like
Yeah,
he could be.
I
He
could
could
go.
be
I
a
ain't
Tony
Tony
Kukoc for
Kukoc. He's
us.
an outside shooter,
Hey,
right?
yeah. He
Don't
just
play-
takes the
don't play-
shots.
don't play defense, though.
No, it's okay. You don't need to play no defense because every three he shoots sinks.
Yeah,
So that's it.
and he's always knocking them down. Yeah,
That's it.
So then we have this girl Angie and some other folks working with us. It's
Right.
like
We're really, to be honest with you, I think we're very blessed
we're a
at
best team.
this venture.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of people that are congruent on the team.
Yes.
A lot of people are excited about your journey, about your mission. Everybody's grounded. Everybody's grateful. I mean, I can't tell you how grateful I am to be around you, to be around Scott, and see a real leader not only try to lead but lead by example. I wanted to get into this a little bit too, like how important is finishing this, doing this, breaking all these records, not just to you but the community that you're representing.
Yeah, another really good question.
Thank you.
I think he's a professional, obviously. No, so that hits a nerve because for me, the biggest fear I was telling my father-in-law a couple days ago, who's a big donor to the program, that my biggest fear, my biggest fear is letting everyone down who supports me. That is literally like I'm not afraid of the oceans. I've been out there for 30 years. I'm not afraid of sailing a fast boat. I've been doing that. I won championships doing that. That's not a big deal to me. My fear is people who are putting their time, their effort, their professions online. And for me, you know, if I were not to be successful at my records, I would feel like crap the rest of my life. It would be really hard for me to move on mentally from that. And so my commitment to my craft, my commitment to the work I'm doing is ongoing nonstop. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm a terrible sleeper. So if I do 2 hours a night, I'm great. And I'm up all day long, all night long, working. And not just because you guys are in different times, we're in different time zones, but to me, the level of commitment I show will then rub off on my team. Because my team seems to be working hard, they'll work hard too. And I think that mentality, like I mentioned, my wife and I, how we sacrifice all the time for each other. Well, I think that's now becoming the mantra of our team, where it's whatever it takes. And so I think you asked me before a couple podcasts ago about my favorite song, or music I listen to when I'm out there. And the song that I listen to every single day, I start the day off with it. It's a song by Imagine Dragons called "Whatever It Takes."
Look at you, Imagine
Yes,
Dragons.
oh yeah, I've been with them since Radioactive. So
Oh my
yeah,
God, I
and
love
so
it.
but that song, "Whatever It Takes," is literally my mantra. So I wake up every morning, I have my headphones on, I'm listening to it a couple times, and I say to myself, it's gonna happen. There's no way I'm gonna sit down at a bar and do nothing. We're here, we're committed, we're gonna get it done. So
It's funny. I remember the day that I had this clear thought is December 23rd, 2021, where I stopped making excuses for myself, where stop letting my past dictate who I am. Like I said, I'm super excited that we're gonna be working together on this. But again, I think that the same thoughts are congruent, right? It's like I don't sleep either. I worry about my team. If I let people down, I'm a failure. And I made up a mind, and I think that you can agree with this. It's either I succeed or I kill myself trying.
yeah.
Right?
So we get used 50 Cent, right?
Right.
We get rich or die trying, right?
Let's go.
I mean, so you see how
That's
extreme
what I'm saying.
See how extreme I am?
No, but I think that's the only way to be, D. I'm
Right,
being serious. I feel like if you go soft or you're plan B or plan C guy, it ain't gonna work.
right. So so just a life lesson for everyone is that you gotta do what you love, because when you do what you love, the bullshit you deal with, you see it as part of the process. So the ups and downs I go through, yeah, they're hard and they're stressful, and that's why I have no hair. And but yeah, right, you too, right? And so, but the bottom line is this: because I love what I do,
Right, exactly.
I see it as a necessary part of the process. And so, today we were moving these giant sails around and logging stuff. Man, look, it's hard, and I'm sweaty, and I'm dirty, but guess what? It's part of the process. If I don't love it, I would quit the first sail that we lifted up, because I don't. Why would you choose to suffer for something that you don't love?
No, I agree. I was talking to the producer who's off camera too, and we were chopping it up, and he's like, "I'm gonna try." I was trying. No, listen, we're in the process of progress,
That's right.
and that's where we're at. And we
That's
keep
right.
on chucking, we keep on moving forward.
That's right.
We keep going hard in the paint. I mean, it's like that. I know you love basketball. I
Yeah,
love football, but
yeah.
I can relate to it too.
Go,
I
go,
mean,
go for it.
at the end of the day, until the buzzer is final, we keep playing.
You play into the
Come
final.
on.
And for me, so you know me, but for the folks that don't know me, growing up, I was a Michael Jordan diehard fan. I'm still into this day.
I was too.
And Kobe Bryant, I fell in love with after 2004, where I saw him committing to leading a team on his own. And I don't know, I've ever seen those kind of guys. People who they're going to leave it on the court. Yeah, I'm some names, and I won't like it bad. You look at a lot of athletes today.
Right.
There's no drive. There's no
Right,
desperation.
right.
I feel a desperation for success.
Me too.
And this boat project, my team members, everything's about this has to happen.
Right.
Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, and Dwayne Wade's trainer. I can't think of
Tim Grover.
Thank you.
My
man.
I'm on it, baby. That's why I'm the guy. I've read that book. That book is genius.
Isn't it great?
Unstoppable.
That's right.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen.
So you talk about being a cleaner and a closer. Look, bottom line is that I measure who I work with, and I measure myself every single day by not I want to be successful, not because everyone else wants me to be successful. No, I need to be successful. The desire to be successful and get things done, it's outweigh every no, every bad situation you face. I've had more sponsors and partners say no to me than I can guess everyone combined on this freaking peninsula. Guess what? I'm still sitting on my boat right now. Right?
Facts.
Right. And so at the end of the day, because I didn't quit,
right,
I was able to achieve. And I see so many people, man, I know you see them too. You go to the bar and, man, I got this idea, man. I'm gonna make this thing happen. And you look him in the eye and you say to yourself, no, he's not.
No,
he's not.
I can tell.
Right.
Just like you
Right.
can.
Because as I keep quoting people, but Gordon Gekko said, a fisherman sees another fisherman from afar. When when you're the same mindset, the same personality, you see it. You can read people, and you can because you. What happens is it's a little secret for you guys. Again, when you are on this level of mental, we feed off each other, and I can't feed off of someone who's empty. You know what I'm saying, and so when it comes down to it, I wish everybody was like, I wish everybody had the drive and the fight in them, but then we wouldn't be unique, would
No, not at all. I totally agree with you. Pulling from that book, I think that's something that I gathered for it that blew my mind. Is you know how let's say you want to fix the sales and sell this and do that, you go one, two, three, four, right? His power, which is something that I'm using right now, is everything is one.
There you go.
Right?
Right.
So to make the sale, that's one. To put this out is one. So basically, you don't say one is less or greater than the other. It's just every task we execute at 100%, no ifs, ands, or buts.
There you go. So if you guys haven't read the book yet, Tim Grover's book,
Phenomenal.
You waste your time. You need to. If you're going to be a leader of anything, I don't care if it's making ice cream cones. You need to read the book because when it comes down, you'll become the best ice cream cone maker in the world.
And that's what it's about, I think.
Yeah, because he does his speeches and talks, you listen to him, and he talks about how basically when he would give Michael a challenge, like, yeah, I want you to just wait 6 times. Michael's doing 12, and he already knew Michael's going to do 12. But he gave him a number that he salting. That's the one pushing harder.
Wow.
And so
that's crazy.
Yeah.
But he just understood the level of competitor or compete inside of Mike.
Right. That's why people always ask me about my role models, who I look up to. I look up to only people who I know will leave it all on the court or the field. So Ray Lewis is another one of my guys. Agreed. Baltimore. Yes. Ray Lewis, I have
phenomenal. Listen to any motivational thing he has on YouTube. You'll be ready to conquer the world.
You would think, why have I not conquered the world?
Agreed.
Right? Because they make you feel like you've already wasted time that you should have invested in yourself.
I agree.
And so Ray Lewis, I have a personal speech of mine. Again, I won't share with you guys. Sorry,
sure.
On my phone. That when I'm nervous about stuff, or I'm not sure, the video on, I'm like, man spoke, so I ain't gonna let him down either. And so you commit to the cause. And again, like I said, we feed off each other. Ray had Reed. And Reed had Ray. You look at Michael had he had Scotty. He had Dennis Wright. He had people who he could lean on. And so when it comes down to it, the commitment required to do this, even I don't know what it takes yet because I haven't done it. But I tell you one thing, I'm going to find out. And when I'm done finding out, I'll share with you guys what it took.
Hey man, listen, I'm in here with the grind with you, also trying to do other projects. If I could say, not using what answer you would give, just believe, man. Believe in your mission, believe in yourself, because no one else will of it in the beginning, right? I'm sure when you started saying this, people were like, "Bro, just relax."
I remember telling people back in the day about this stuff, and even to this day, I tell people what I do, and they look at me kind of like, "Why? Why would you subject yourself?" I'm like, no, I'm not subjecting myself. This is the necessary part of the process. And so a lot of people do late night scramming for college tests and stuff. Why would you do that? Well, because they want to pass the class and graduate. That's why they're doing it. And so, but at the same time, when I look at what I'm doing here, if I ask you right now, can you name the fastest American go around the world for?
Probably not.
No. Can you name the other 2 black guys who went around the world but they stopped off?
Probably not either.
But at the end of the day, I will make sure that people know my name when I'm done.
Facts.
Because when I do this, I'm going to do it the right way. I'm going to make sure that it's conveyed and shared and we all enjoy it together. Because what's the point of breaking records and doing stuff if no one knows about it? You know what I'm saying? So, to me, how I communicate, how I share the experience. That's why we have a nonprofit now, Dark Seas Project. That's what we have. We have so we can literally share more than we've already been sharing before.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I think when I was looking into some stuff by Anthony or Tony Robbins, whatever he goes by nowadays, it, you could be successful by yourself, but if you don't have a missus to share the opportunity with, right, then it's kind of meaningless, right? If you don't have a team that you can share with, go deeper.
Let me give you another one to think about,
please.
Ultimately, I may be out there by myself doing the records, but I'm never alone. And there's no way I can get the start line by a solid team. For all the points that Michael scored playing basketball, He didn't win a chip till he had at least one All-Star on his team. He needed Sky to develop to All-Star. In 1990, I think he became an All-Star. In 91, they won the championship. And so for me, yeah, I can win small chips. I can win. I can get boats donated. I can do all that stuff. But for me to be a world champion, be a world record holder, nah, that's going to take. I need rebounders. I need some shooters. You know what I'm saying? I need some defenders. And I need a system. And so what it comes down to is that we're building a championship team, caliber team. And when it's all said and done, we're going to be a blueprint for a follow. Because they're going to try to do the same thing. Why not?
I agree. I agree. I want to switch gears again because we were talking again off air and on air. You had mentioned 33 records that you're going to go after. Are you able to tell us some of them?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we can now. So, dude.
Yeah, right. I know. Right. Everything was secret.
You remember we couldn't talk about that?
Nothing.
Funny.
It's insane.
You got to think about it from the standpoint before we had this boat. If I had mentioned the records, maybe someone else out there smart enough to get this boat.
Right. Because they would have chased what you were trying to put down.
Right. Now that we have this boat, the only way they can compete with us is they have to get a lesser version of this boat or build a brand new one. It's going to cost you $5 million.
Jesus Christ.
Bless you in.
Yeah. Good luck.
And if you do, you got 4 years and $5 million to build. I'll see you out there when I see you out there. But until then, we got what we got. So the records, all solo, just me on board. Not crew, just me and my boat.
Let's start with the first one that you're gonna accomplish. Accomplish. We're gonna go with that. Assume the close, baby.
No. So part of the system also the finish line. How you're gonna finish?
Got it.
And so for me, the first record we're doing will be the Transpac record.
Okay.
And for you Californians, I know you're gonna love that because that's LA to Hawaii.
That's lovely.
And so this boat actually owns the crude record right now
of that event.
Of that event. And on that course.
Correct.
And that record is 4 days, 6 hours.
Got it. By a crew. How much is it by a solo person?
That solo record is 7 days and 11 hours.
Okay.
Now, my goal is to put that in half. So if I do 5 days, I am not going to beat the crew of All Stars from the same boat. He's in the same boat.
Right.
But if I can come in behind them by about 15%, now I'm at 5.5 days. That record will last a long time.
Really?
Because you got to remember, if I break the world record by 2 days,
sure,
you need a faster boat to beat my record. So part of the system, which I'll get part of it now, is about preparation.
Sure.
And part of preparation is your strategy. And part of your strategy is what boat you're using.
Would you say that's the biggest part of the strategy, the boat?
Absolutely, because you're gonna get a boat. It's simple ergonomics for those who's engineers. You design the tool for the job. And so what you need is to have the weapon that will do the best. Well, this is a military analogy, but the weapon that's the best weapon to take out your enemy. And so for us, if I'm going to compete in this class, 60-foot multi-hull, then get the fastest 6-foot multi-hull ever built. And that's what I did. And so by doing it now, can I take care of it? Can I manage it? Can I put the system in place to be successful? That's where the skill set comes in. So get the right boat, maintain it, and then apply your skill set. And by doing it that way, so now I won't go any further than that in the system beyond that. That's
a secret sauce. That's a secret sauce.
Content right there, guys. All right. But yeah. So you look at that. Basically, I did a Transpac around Labor Day, September-ish. I should be able to take 2.5 days off the record.
Oh, that's impressive. Just by the vessel.
Yeah, and just because I have the right boat, I have the right skill set, I have the right system. That's success. That's basketball. You look at Chris Paul, point guard, now for Phoenix Suns. Every team's ever gone to, that team is improved by almost 30% every time. When he leaves, it falls back off because he is the system. LeBron James said he is the system, so he can get you to a certain level. Now we need a closer. Kyrie was, Dwayne Wade was for LeBron, and Chris Paul is Booker now, and some other folks he had back in the day. So you have to have a system to get you success. And you need a closer. I'm the closer. Both and then what I have going on is the system.
All right, so that's the first one. What's the second record that you're going to be breaking?
So the second record we're going to do is actually the granddaddy of it. So everything you can be found.
Sure.
The Super Bowl for sailing
is
around the world, solo non-stop. You start from one point and you finish at another point. You finish at the same point you start from. And the world record
for solo.
For solo,
how many?
For this size boat, it's 74 days.
74.
Yes,
Okay.
it's held by a French
And this is nonstop, correct?
nonstop. Everything's nonstop, no assistance.
Got it.
74 days. The American record is 107 days.
Got it.
And we're 30 days behind the rest of the world.
Sure.
So if I break the world record, I get the American record as well. Got me?
Got it.
Now, no one in my culture's ever done this nonstop circumnavigation. So I'll have the world, the country, and my culture all in one. But then there's an added bonus.
Oh, I
is
love
added,
bonuses.
this is the added bonus. No Americans ever sailed this type of boat around the world nonstop.
Wow.
There's only been 5 human beings who've ever done this before on this type of boat. I'll be the first American to do it. And so you add that to some other intermediate records. By the time I get back from my voyage around the world, I was, I think, 12, 14 world records off of one voyage. And so when we get back here, I'm going to sit here with like 16 records with another 16 to go.
Out of curiosity, do they hand out medals for these records that we break?
They hand out what's
Do we get awards? What do we get for these records?
right. So what
Besides
happens,
the pride and the glory, what else do we get?
besides the pride and the glory and the champagne, what you get is you actually get a certified notarized certificate.
Nice.
And so what will happen basically, I will be given 2 of those. It's by the governing body,
Sure.
which is the World Speed Record Council. So they're ones who ratify and certify your records.
Got it.
Now, so I'll get 3 of those.
Mhm.
One's going to go to me. One's going to a safe for safekeeping. Then one's going to go to my parents probably, or
Nice.
my
Cool.
in-laws
Awesome.
for different reasons. Now, from there, all my team members will get their own version of them as well.
Nice.
So all you guys will get a certificate that will say, Capt. Lawson aboard Defiant, world record XYZ, whatever record it is at the time.
Beautiful.
And so then you will have a certificate for every record.
It's like in baseball. Everybody gets a ring.
Everybody
The
gets a ring,
championship.
Everybody gets a
Damn,
ring, baby.
I like it. I like
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
This is
yeah.
awesome.
Everybody's associated with the project as an employee, team member, crew member. Everybody gets.
All right. So I wanted to ask you. You were just saying that this body governs all this stuff.
Yes.
Is there a tracker that says you didn't cheat or you didn't slow
Oh, yeah.
down or
Oh,
you
yeah.
didn't stop, right? They got to know all this stuff, right?
So, right.
So they have to give you a black box, let's say?
Bingo. That's
Right?
the black box.
Look at this guy.
He's a
He has
reason.
a G.
He's a reason or something. I don't know. So,
I'm nautical now, baby.
yeah. So you get a black box that tracks you. It's a very simple satellite system in your boat. It follows you all around the world. It monitors you.
I was going to say, it tracks your speed too. Your
It
knots.
tracks everything. And then when you're across the finish line, they take the box out. They take it back to
give
their
it to them.
headquarters. They go through it and double check it. And if it's clean and good to go,
Wow.
you're ratified. Now, that's the first way to do it. The second way is that generally for the bigger records, maybe like a Transpac and around the world, there will be a judge at the start and the finish line to visually, with a stopwatch, time us as we do both.
Got it.
Finish and start. Now, the bonus for everyone else who's watching and who's going to follow us, we have behind the boat, behind us, a satellite phone and tracker. And the satellite phone and tracker allows everyone to monitor where we are and what we're doing, how we're doing it. And so you can, on your cell phone, look and watch where I'm at, how fast I'm going, if I have the cameras on, you see what I'm eating, that kind of stuff. You'll be able to track us all the time through all the records.
So now, we talked about it. You'll never see water. I mean, you'll never see land. Will people be able to see you at one point somewhere around this voyage? The one that's around the world, not so much the one from LA to Hawaii. No one will ever see you.
No.
You won't be able to even see the mast in the far distance?
No. So once you're about 12 miles out, it's almost impossible to see.
Gotcha. That's really far.
Because of the horizon.
Right.
And
That's why we're going to tell Kyrie Irving that the world's not flat.
Right?
Like, because of horizon, the thing bends.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was flat, we probably could see you.
Forever, right?
Yeah.
So we're not going to comment on people's.
I know political views. Right? I don't even know if that's political. Yeah, there's science views. There's educational views.
What college did he go to?
I'm not sure. Let's not talk into that. That's what you got to do with these one and done schools.
Ah,
Right? Maybe they want to stay in school a little longer.
They go to Duke. They go to
You
Duke.
might. That's
Oh,
awesome.
man. Well, Shashevsky. Anyways,
Yeah, right.
all right. I'm a Merlin guy. So,
I know.
anyways, no. So, as far as seeing the boat, when I cast off for the voyage, I will not see land again until Cape Horn.
Wait,
South-
that's in Africa, South Africa, right?
South America.
So South America. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're right.
And
It's
that was what in not Argentina. What was it? Was it what?
Australia. No, so it's Chile.
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 That's what we're talking. So
Yeah,
you're gonna
Chile.
see that point in Chile.
And that's the last piece of land on the sea.
Until
Probably I see an island in the South Pacific.
and okay, so we leave Hawaii.
Yes,
We
we
go
leave
all the way
it-
down underneath. That's the first time you'll see land in how many days?
So from Hawaii, well, if I do my job, I should get there in 12 days.
To that point in
Yes.
Chile.
Yep.
And then you'll see it from 12
So,
miles away
I
or
would
closer.
actually, so where are we going? We're going this way. So I'll see it right over here as I'm passing.
Got it.
It'll pass by like that. And then from there, I go over to Africa.
And how long do we see something in Africa? Another 40
I
days?
won't see nothing in Africa. I won't see. I'll be
Shit.
too far south. I'll be too far south. I'll probably pass Africa after 6 days after that, if not less, maybe 5 days. And then from there, I won't see the land until maybe Tasmania, Australia.
So I was just talking to somebody about this movie. Have you ever seen the movie Hurricane with Denzel Washington?
Yeah, I actually did.
Right? Pretty
Yes.
good movie, right?
Yeah, it's very depressing beginning.
It's
but
a very bad, depressing, sad film. But I was just
Yes.
talking to somebody about him being locked up in
So
the confinement.
I was
solitary.
thinking about that scene today, this morning.
Were you really?
Yeah, it was.
Then we're congruent, brother.
Yeah,
Because I've been talking about this a lot.
No,
But go
no,
ahead, tell me what you were thinking
no,
about the
no,
scene
no,
because I
so-
want to talk about it.
So it was very, very. So I was taking a shower at the hotel, and the water system wasn't working very well. I said to myself, that might be the light flagging a hurricane. And I said to myself, that's some depressing shit, man. Solitary confinement is very, very difficult in the mind because we're social creatures. And so for me, as a sailor, even a solo sailor,
Right, that's what I'm getting at.
right. And it's one of those things where if this was back in the pirate days or in the 70s, I wouldn't be out doing it. It's the technology that I love and the speed of the boats that I love. And so my sailing systems, which I have 2 on board, I can talk to my wife every single day.
So it's almost not. You're not really solo. You're just driving solo.
I'm solo on board the boat, just like a Formula One driver. Formula One driver, it's the only person in that car.
But you can take phone calls.
You do radios on the car, right?
Right.
And so when it comes down to like a tennis player, on a tennis court, you still have judges and umpires school in the stands. And so nowadays, what I do is a spectator sport. So you guys can really send me emails. And if I have a chance, I'll respond back. Or if I do a video live stream and people send me comments, I can talk back. And so I may physically be on my own and get no help and no coaching. But at the end of the day, you guys know where I'm at, and I'll be able to talk back to you.
And so now when you say with the satellite thing, right, and speaking back to us and live streaming and all this stuff, this thing works anywhere around the world, no matter how far away from the shore you are.
Anywhere.
And it's for 100 because not even Lysol gives you 100. It's 99.9.
All right, so let's say nominal. We're engineering.
Yeah, please show me because it cannot not work that 0.01 times.
Because you don't know, maybe there is a bird blocking the signal from the sun. Who knows?
Sure.
But the fleet broadband system we use, and then the radium system we use, other satellites up in geosynchronous orbit that sell there's a constellation. And so right now, so I thought really long and hard about Starlink with Elon Musk and SpaceX, but they don't have the Southern Ocean covered. And so without that being covered, I only can use it on half of the world. So having said that, now if they do have it done by the time I cast off, maybe we'll talk then. But no, they don't have it set up yet. So but in the future, it's incredible. I can use my cell phone.
Get the heck out of here. Off of the network that it'll provide?
Man,
the future is going to be interesting.
These kids are so lucky.
I know, seriously.
Yeah, YouTube and they have Starlink.
Come on, bro. They got cell phones that at least, have a computer attached to them. We didn't have that when we were kids.
My phone was a tablet phone.
Right, your phone is, incredible in comparison to what we had when we were kids. Right.
Yeah.
Or pagers or sidekicks or whatever the Palm Pilots, green screens or black screens. Yeah, bro. I know. Well, technology, I mean, you're just talking about this. I mean, I think that is not only imperative, but indicative for us to be aware because now that you mentioned saying that the love also comes from the love of technology, being able for you to do less with more.
Yes. So it's about the evolution of the sport. And so, is this. I'm a firm believer that the Chicago Bulls, Michael Jordan's team, is the best team ever overall because defensively, they can lock you down and their system will hold you down on the triangle offense. So I think they could beat Magic's and Bird's teams. The Golden State Warriors team with Kevin Durant will be a different challenge. It's depending on what rules you use. Because if you can't touch anyone,
right,
now you
body check.
Now you got to stand in front of them, and so that may neutralize some of the physicality that the Bulls had. And so I'm not willing to say
sure.
but I would say they'll definitely be in 6 games. They might even go to 7 games.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean,
and so
he's a closer. Speaking of closers.
Right. So sailing's the same way. When you look at the sport where the first records were set, those guys were taking 120 days to get around the planet because that's the best they could do at that time. Well, today, I'm telling you guys, I could probably do this in 60 days or less. And if I can do it in 60 days or less, Well, guess what? In 20 years, somebody's going to do it in 40 years, 40 days and less. And so this is evolution of time in the sport. So it doesn't mean I'm a better sailor or a worse sailor than someone else because someone beats my time or I beat their time. It just means that at that time, this person maximized what they had and did the job. And that's what it comes down to. So you'll never hear Michael Jordan say he's the best of all time.
No.
He's never said that. He's never said that. But he's recognized that way because of the way he delivered. And so my goal is every time I set off for a record, I want to finish the record and I want to break the record. That's my goal. I want to be 33-0. I want to be like Mayweather when it comes down to it.
I dig it, man. I dig it. But I wanted you to talk to the audience and talk to some of the people about some of the opportunities they may have with working on you with donations for the boat, donations for your future projects, or any way that they could help or get involved with this effort.
Yeah. And so first, Dustin, thank you.
Anytime, bro.
Your interview has been great, and because we're on the boat this time.
Right. Oh, well, we set the bar pretty high.
Yeah, we did. So now next time it's going to be when the boat's moving, probably.
Oh, my God. That'll be crazy. I'm going to have to tie myself down.
Yeah, well, no, we'll have a harness for you. No, so as far as for everyone watching today, I want to stress this 2 things. The first thing is that we can't do what we do without the support of the public. Our nonprofit Dark Seas project is geared to allow me to expand my education program around the country and around the world. And so donations people make to our 501c3 allows us to do these trips, these projects. So that's the first thing. So if you're interested in donating to us, helping the education program, helping the schools we're working with, just go to my Facebook page, which is under Captain Donald Lawson. Go to the web link, click on it, and the donation button is right there. You can donate $1, 25 cents, or there's no limit on how much you can do. So $2 million, I don't care. Do whatever you can do, and we're committed to maximizing it and get every cent out of it we can possibly get. So that's the first thing. Second thing being is that if you feel that what we're doing aligns with your business, with your foundation, your organization, and you want to be a part of this, and maybe even get branding on the boat to show your support, reach out to us as well, because ultimately there's opportunities for your logos to go on the boat. There's opportunities for you guys to come to the events with us and speak, share with them what you're trying to achieve as well and why our relationship works. And so don't hesitate. Don't feel like, oh man, I only could do X, Y, and Z. Well, if you only do X, Y, and Z, guess what? I'll add the W to that and make it work, okay? So I just want to share that with you guys. And again, Facebook is probably the best way to follow me is Captain Donald Lawson. My Instagram is still growing, so you can follow us at Dark Seas Project or Captain Donald Lawson as well. They're all linked together anyways. And if you want to email me, I try to respond back to fan mail. I do get quite a bit of that now. You just go to Donald at CaptainDonaldLawson.com.
Well, that's exciting. I know we are trying to do this for the winterish time. We'll talk more about when you're trying to get this stuff done. But again, Donald, thank you so much as always for making time for us and always have such amazing insight. You're an amazing mentor, leader, and I'm so excited to see you at this finish line, brother.
Well, I do appreciate it, and thank you so much for your time, your effort, and your equipment. It's amazing equipment you have here too.
Thanks, buddy. And we want to thank Scott for getting us together.
Yeah.
And Ian for helping out, our producer and our agent. We want to show those guys love. So stay tuned, guys. We got a lot more stuff coming back to you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for listening.
Take care. Bye. Good job, man.